Holla peeps, it's your girl Schree reporting live for SchreeTV. Watching the closing arguments. The prosecution is up for rebuttal, and I think he's doing a beautiful job. Unlike the defense, who carried up a big huge of brick cement because Zimmerman hit his head on cement. He struggled with the cement to get it over to the jury. I don't know why he did that. He lost me at knock-knock, so.
How did we get here? Who are these people? You can't do that in real life, and you shouldn't do it here. Let me suggest you start at the beginning. Let's start at 7-11.
He's doing a really good job. Really good.
Every right to be where he was. That child had every right to do what he was doing.
I'll be right back, y'all. Gotta give me a pack of cigarettes. Enjoy the fuzzy posters. Wait a minute.
That child had every right to be afraid of a strange man following him, first in his car and then on foot.
Okay.
Did that child not have the right to defend himself from that strange man? Did Trayvon Martin not also have that right? I don't have all the fireworks, all the animation, but come back with me. Come back with me to that scene where it happened that night. Come back with me and bring with you your God-given common sense. The common sense that tells you it's the person talking like the defendant who had hate in his heart. Not the boy walking home, talking to the girl in Miami. Wow. The common sense that tells you if Trayvon Martin had been mounted on the defendant, as the defendant claims, when he went to get his gun, he never could have got it. I don't have to pull out that mag again and sit on it. You remember. If you have to, you would do the bird. If he was up on his waist is covered by Trayvon Martin's legs. He couldn't have got the gun. He couldn't have. They wanted a reason. It's a physical impossibility. He couldn't have grabbed it. The only way that defendant gets to his gun, the only way Trayvon Martin was getting off of him, or he had backed up so far on his legs that he couldn't hit it. Couldn't touch him. The defendant didn't shoot Trayvon Martin because he had to.
Shot him because he
Shot him because he wanted to.
Yup.
That's the bottom line. The common sense that tells you if Trayvon Martin had already run off like he claimed in his interviews, why would he go through the end of the T to get an address? If he had already run off, does that make any sense? Of course not. It's self-serving. It's justification. It's false.
And George Zimmerman just sitting there like he's waiting on a steak dinner.
Listen, please listen to that tape again. Jen Lytle's 911 call. Listen to when the screaming stops. At the instant of the gunshot. Silence.
That's true.
Nothing.
After the gunshot, there was no more screaming. How was that Zimmerman screaming then? It was Trayvon screaming.
Trayvon Martin was still alive, so much so that he had to get on his back, flip him over,
and shoot him in the heart.
spread his arms out. Why would he stop yelling crap?
That is true, y'all.
He was in fear.
The screaming stopped as soon as that bullet went off. Oh, I hope they get it. I hope they get it right.
If it was yelling that loud and that long, would he have sounded the way he sounded on the recordings that you have? He wouldn't have been hoarse. He wouldn't have had a strange voice if that was him yelling. Really? That's why common sense is so important. This isn't a complicated case. It's a common sense case. And it's not a case about self-defense. It's a case about self-denial. George Zimmerman. The common sense that tells you if he was the neighborhood watch coordinator, not anyone, the coordinator, who had lived there for 4 years, he'd know the name of Twin Trees Lane. The common sense that tells you he was so afraid of the real suspicious guy with his hands in his waistband, he never got out of the car. But that's not what happened. The common sense that tells you if he really was soft, didn't know how to fight, in his own words, he wouldn't have been able to get wrist control of Trayvon Martin. Those were his words. He would have been able to move his hand off his mouth or off his gun. If Trayvon Martin was putting on such a blow, that little plastic, flimsy kid's watch on his wrist, it wouldn't have come off. It didn't. The common sense that tells you if Trayvon Martin was the one on the hunt, would he still have been on his cell phone? Or would the earbuds still have been in his ears if he was getting ready to attack somebody? Really? And the most important one of all, the common sense that tells you in your everyday life, really, if he hadn't committed a crime, why did he lie so many times? Why did he lie?
Beautiful job for the prosecution. I hope it's effective. We can all have our fingers crossed.
Sean Noffke told me to get an address. That didn't happen. Listen to the tapes. Listen to the walkthrough. And listen to the non-emergency call. Sean Noffke never said that. I told the police I was going to meet him on my car. That's not what he told them. Why? Why lie about that? It's so important. That's why. Because he wasn't going back to the car. He was going back to Trayvon Martin. Just like he said on that tape when he slipped up. Just like he lied about when he was confronted. It wasn't 10 seconds afterwards. It was 2 minutes. Trayvon Martin covered his mouth and nose. Really? They want you to believe that the blood was washed off by incompetent medical examiners. But yet he told the police, not just the police, his best friend, remember his best friend in the world, that Trayvon Martin was squeezing his nose. Do you really think, if that were true, there wouldn't be George Zimmerman's blood on these sticks that they pried under his fingernails? Do you really think that's true? That was a lie.
Yeah, concrete. That's what it was. A big old brick of concrete.
His heart. If his head had been slammed in something like this, slammed, bashed, over and over, he wouldn't look like he did in those photographs. Think about it.
That is true.
That would be it.
If his head was slammed against concrete, it would have split open. We've all seen enough boxing matches to know, you know, you got your cut man in the corner. They have to put Vaseline on their faces so their faces don't split. That's how easily the skin can split open. If it was concrete, you know what I mean? If you'd have banged him, the skin would have split open. The back of the skull, you know. There's no fat back there.
He didn't have so much as a headache the next morning. Not nausea, not vomiting, not a headache. And he didn't come to see me for treatment. He came for a note for work. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't bad at all. Would Trayvon Martin's hand look like that if he had been pummeling him? He said Trayvon Martin saw his gun. First of all, it was inside his waistband. Inside.
So how Trayvon see the gun if it was in his waistband?
He couldn't have got to. Trayvon
How?
couldn't have seen it.
Alright, peeps, we're over 12 minutes on this one here. I'm going to go ahead and close it out. You know I love you very, very much. More SchreeTV coming at you very soon. Love you.